Hello, welcome to Dun Drawers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, we finally watched the new Suicide Squad movie after weeks of me trying to get people to come see this movie in theaters, despite the fact that, they took all the jabs and stuff. You still have people who are nervous about going outside and interacting with other people and whatnot. It's so annoying, but it is what it is. I finally watched it online and now I can review it. So today we're reviewing obviously the new Suicide Squad movie based off the DC Comics. You have James Gunn directed it and starring a huge cast. You got Margo Robbie as Harley Quinn, Idris Elba as Bloodsport, John Cena as Peacemaker, Viola Davis, Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2, Joe Kinnaman as Rick Flag, Sylvester Stallone as the voice of King Shark, and David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot Man, and Jai Courtney also came back to play Captain Boomerang. You also have Michael Rooker as Savant, who's only in the movie not a lot. Peter Capaldi is in it as the Thinker. Pete Davidson, Alice Braga, huge cast. Even fellow Canadian Nathan Fillion is in the film. So before I go into spoilers, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the movie and what my thoughts are on it, because I have a lot to say. Well, first off, I wasn't actually going to watch the film, because despite the fact that I've been a James Gunn fan since high school, loved his movies like Slither, and the first superhero movie he ever did, Super, with Rainn Wilson and not Emma Stone. Oh wait, she's not a she anymore. Sorry. What's his new name? Something Page? Edwin Page? I don't know. Whatever Page is calling himself these days. He was in that film as a female. That Super film with Kevin Bacon, Rainn Wilson. That was a great film, right? So I've been a fan of his a long time, and when the controversy hits, I actually looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, this guy is a pretty sketchy fella. And he was even named in a recent lawsuit where they brought up the fact that he had this weird costume party that was I don't want to say the word, but it was very gross, the theme of the party. So so the lead singer of Minus Self-Indulgence apparently is a molester, apparently, and he molested this chick at James Gunn's party. So yeah, that is probably why James Gunn's hair recently went completely white, because of that stuff. But we're not here to talk about James Gunn. We're here to talk about the movie and why you should or should not watch it. Because you gotta separate some art with the artist, right? Because artists don't live forever, but art does, or kinda subjective, really. So yeah, the movie is about basically it's basically a reboot / sequel to original Suicide Squad movie. It follows what a new member joins the team, Savant, which is played by Michael Rooker, who's been in several James Gunn films, right? And he's Savant. That I don't know much about the character, but he's probably a marksman like Deadshot and Bloodsport, Peacemaker, where you see him play with a ball and he kills a bird. Lots of killing of birds in this film, so I don't know if that's a metaphor for anything. So you see him go on this mission with the Suicide Squad, and apparently there was two teams. One with Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Blackguard, which is Davidson. Javelin, which is played by that Fula guy, the German YouTuber comedian. I don't know why he's in the film. You also have Nathan Fillion as TDK, and some MMA fighter chick who plays Mongol, and they go on a mission, and it's like the diversionary tactic where they're attacking this island nation, the South American island nation that was taken over by, that had like a coup d'etat where that was taken over by a general and some politician, right? They killed the family that was running the country, the island nation. So they go on a mission to infiltrate it. They immediately get betrayed thanks to Pete Davidson, Blackguard. Spoiler alert. So that's a spoiler. And while that is going on, also I forgot there's this monster called Weasel, who eats and kills children, by the way, and survives the film. Survives the film and just walks off into the jungle. Oh, great! A child murderer is on the loose at the end of the film. Fantastic, by the way, James Gunn. Fantastic. So while that's going on, our main team, who's in most of the film, right, lands on another island, and their objective is to destroy this lab called Jotunheim, which is this tower that has this underground, like, laboratory run by the Thinker, which was apparently set up by Nazi scientists with the help of the American government, which obviously, if you know anything about Operation Paperclip, not too surprising, right? That the American government would work with Nazi scientists. So yeah, their objective is to destroy the Jotunheim project, which is basically Starro the Conqueror, right? Which is a major character from the comics and the cartoons, which it's this giant starfish that can clone itself, and its tiny clones can latch onto people's faces and control them, right? So it's kind of like a metaphor for communism, because there was like a lot of that back in the day with like movies like The Body Snatchers and Stepford Wives and shit like that. Yeah, so like the B team is Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba, who has like these nano weapons all over his body, even has a nano helmet that looks really cool, which gets destroyed. Ratcatcher 2, which is played by a Portuguese actress. I thought she was Spanish, but apparently she's Portuguese, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, she can control rats, and she has this rat sidekick called Sebastian, who's super cute and wants to be friends with Idris Elba's character, who he has a rat phobia, right? You also have Peacemaker, played by John Cena, which I'm a huge fan of the Peacemaker character, which is why I changed my mind about watching the film. And like, he does a good job, but I feel like he was a bit comedic, a bit too comedic with the character, which that's probably James Gunn's fault. And he felt like a little silly at times, and yeah, it was just too over the top. Like, yeah, it's like even like the comedian who was a parody of Peacemaker wasn't as, gung ho about killing women and children like this Peacemaker is, which he doesn't kill any children, but he does kill women in the film. Oy vey. So other characters on that team, I think, was Polka Dot Man, who is crazy, who imagines people as his mother. When I saw that screenshot, I thought that was like somebody made that, but no, like, he imagines everybody as his fat, overweight mother, because his fat, overweight mother, made him the way he is, right? Which he shoots polka dots at people, and the polka dots are deadly weapons. He's actually pretty OP, but he gets, shit happens. Sorry about that. And you also have King Shark, who's voiced by Sylvester Stallone. Who the King Shark character is pretty cool, but like, I feel they made him really dumb and kind of from lack of a better word, did. And I think that was a reference to the fact that they got Sylvester Stallone to voice him. I think that was a reference to the fact that that the Rocky character was kind of did in a lot of people's opinions. So like he's really dumb, but he's like he's really funny in the film, which a lot of the characters are really funny, like Idris Elba and like Peacemaker's rivalry. Where there's a thing where in the toys that came out for this film, none of the characters had guns. They just had like swords and axes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why does Peacemaker and like Bloodsport have like swords and axes? And they're actually in the film, though you never see Bloodsport use the axes, but Peacemaker does. He does have like a nano sword at the end of the film, but like yeah, they just gave him like Peacemaker's axes, which there's a lot of cool weapons in the film, right? Peacemaker has like low dart guns, like modified long barrel Desert Eagle. He has the swords and axes. Where the fuck he got that from, I don't know. And like Peacemaker has not Peacemaker. Bloodsport has his nano guns, where he can put them all together to make a big giant gun. And he also has like these slingshot weapons on his wrist and a flamethrower. So like, which is funny because like somebody was saying like, oh, they probably got rid of Peacemaker's jetpack because he was too much like Boba Fett, which Boba Fett's probably based off him, but whatever. Which that Boba Fett was probably based off Peacemaker, but not a lot of people know that, so they'll probably like accuse the movie of ripping off Boba Fett, which is so dumb. The character was from like a comic book by Charlton Comics that was bought by like DC in the 80s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but like it's like between Peacemaker and Bloodsport, they almost make like a complete like Boba Fett ripoff, because you have like all because they both have cool helmets, and like Bloodsport has like the flamethrower, the wrist flamethrower, just like Boba Fett. Oh my god. So like, what was cool about the movie? Like, let's go into likes and dislikes. Likes, you had like lots of cool action. The movie was funny. The movie has this like grindhouse like horror movie feel to it with the cinematography, which I thought was cool. Well, the soundtrack was really good, even with the Johnny Cash song in the beginning and the more like modern music. I thought the soundtrack was really good. And the action, the characters, the dialogue was well written, right? So, and my dislikes, I did not like the fact, I was not a fan of who they killed in the film, right? Which they kill a lot of people. And then there's the fact that, where the fuck do they come up, like, where the fuck did these, like, villains, like, these super villains come from, which apparently they've been around for decades, and like when superheroes in this world haven't been around that long, so that kind of bothers me that they don't like explore these characters first before using them. That kind of annoys me. And then there's the fact that fans of DC Comics have been wanting Nathan Fillion to play like Green Lantern for the longest time, and now they just throw away and use them for like a random role. I didn't like that, but overall I thought the movie was good, right? And I would highly recommend it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. So now I'm going to go into spoilers, right? So I was not a huge fan of them killing Captain Boomerang, who's to me is the cornerstone of the Suicide Squad team, especially like the version that this movie's based off. Which even in the new comics, they like they got rid of like people like fucking like Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. Even like Harley Quinn's not even in the new lineup. Right, sorry. But like to me, like if you're gonna make a Suicide Squad team, like the cornerstone has always been a mix of Flash villains and Batman villains because they have the best rogues galleries. While I do agree, hey, it shouldn't be just all Flash and all Batman villains in a Suicide Squad team. You need to have at least one of each, or like two of each or whatever. Which I'm not a huge fan of Harley Quinn. I think her character is kind of dumb. But like, though I thought the running gag with the javelin that she takes from like the javelin guy, who's a Flash villain, by the way, apparently. Though I've never heard of him. Probably he's one of the lamer Flash villains. Most of Flash villains are pretty cool, especially like Mirror Master. Why the fuck haven't we had Mirror Master in like a Suicide Squad movie? I don't think he's even in the animated ones, which they should put him on, to be honest. But yeah, like they kill off all your favorite characters from the last film. Rick Flag is dead. Captain Boomerang is dead. And it's like, for fuck's sakes, dude. Even some of the newer characters that was really cool, like Polka Dot Man, they kill him off, which, oh my god, man. Polka Dot Man. So like they almost kill off Peacemaker, but like they find him alive, still alive in the wreckage in the post-credit scene. A lot of people think the post-credit scene is the Weasel death. No, that played before the credits. The real post-credit scene is with where you find out Peacemaker is still alive, right? So yeah, and can we just get rid of Viola? Well, I mean, Viola Davis was alright. I mean, the character Amanda Waller, I kind of sick of her, but you kind of need like an asshole character to run the Suicide Squad. But it's like, fuck, man. I kind of hate her. Then you're supposed to hate her. That's the thing that people tend to forget. Though in the comic book, I'm not 100% sure if you were supposed to hate her or not. I just think everybody hate her, so like people just tune in. Okay, people hate her, so that Sorry, I'm drinking Faygo. But yeah, I was not a fan of them killing Captain Boomerang and Rick Flag. Like, for fuck's sakes, dude. For fuck's sakes, the only fucking original member of the team that's still alive is Harley Quinn, and she's the most annoying character of them all. God fucking yeah. And also, if you're a fan of pet birds or whatever, you're a bird person, they kill a lot of birds in this film. Not just in the beginning of the film, but like there's a scene where the general character kills all the pet birds of his minister guy that was the president, the acting president of the country for like no fucking reason. And I'm like, just like, what the fuck? Is that supposed to be a metaphor for something? Like, for fuck's sakes, man. Like, does James Gunn have to give like props to Moloch or something? like is it like a metaphor for like killing the young or something? I don't fucking know, dude. Sacrificing the young? I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck the deal was with that. But yeah, that. I don't know. I thought that was weird. Also, there's a lot of gore in the film, which I thought was okay, and a lot of CGI gore. Though the CGI gore was good, I thought some people might not like that. Overall, like I did like the film. Like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10. But fuck, man, I hated they killed like most of the core team members, man. Like, god fucking damn it. And you kind of knew based off the trailers that most of the characters were probably dead. Like, because Captain Boomerang's was hardly in the trailers, man. Like Fuck, man. And like he was really funny too, man. He had like a really funny line in the beginning of the film, where where the javelin guy is like, "What does TDK stand for?" And it's like, dude, it's just letters for my name. But that's just letters. That, like all names are letters, dickhead. Fuck. They gave Captain Boomerang some really fucking funny lines, and then they kill him off, man. It's like fucking bullshit. He was the funniest character on the team, and he's like in the comics, and maybe not in the movies, but you know, he was great. He was the funniest character in the last film, which I didn't think was that bad. But I don't know. We'll review it at some point. Yeah. Oh well, guys, that's it. Peace. Oh, also, I have a comic book review I'm gonna put out today. The Spirit 80th anniversary. Check that out if you're a fan of comic reviews.